Alright, X. I've been debating whether or not to post here since if anyone who knows me reads this, they'll instantly know it's me, and since I signed an NDA, it would fuck up my future career opportunities. But to be honest, I really don't fucking care anymore. And John, if you're reading this and screen grab it, fuck you. I know you use this shitty website religiously. Anyway, be me. I work in a fire watch in Alaska. It's boring as fuck, but at least it pays kind of well. I get my own little fire watch stand in the middle of fucking nowhere. My only contact with the outside world is my huge ham radio, the free Wi-Fi, and the guy who delivers my supplies every 2 weeks, like beer, food, water, etc. Basically, I'm being paid to live in a huge tower, all my expenses prepaid, and occasionally look around for smoke or possible fires. The tower itself is cozy, and cool in the summer because of how high up it is, and warm in the winter because it's insulated and has an electric heater. No fireplace for obvious fucking reasons. It's so tall that I don't have to worry about any of the wildlife. The only thing I'm actually forced to do is the hourly radio checks, since if I don't respond, they'll send a whole fucking SWAT team to go check up on me, which I'll explain later. You can basically do anything you want up there, since there's no one around to actually monitor you. Okay, enough context. During the first month of the job, I was kind of spooked out because of how isolated I was. One night, I was just shooting the shit and definitely not masturbating when I hear something huge slam into the bottom of the tower. The whole thing shook. What the fuck? I decide to go take a look since I don't want my tower collapsing and making me stranded as I wait for the next visit from the supply guy. I take a flashlight and my company standard Remington hunting rifle. I climb down the steps and point the flashlight at the wooden beams that hold the tower up. It's smeared in blood. It looks like the front of your car when you plow through a deer at full speed. There's a mangled deer corpse at the bottom of the steps. Holy shit. It's absolutely torn to pieces, and there's only a few patches of skin still on. It's also missing 2 of its legs, and the head has been ripped in 2 from the center down. It hardly resembles a deer at all now. I only knew it was a deer because its antlers had been snapped off and shoved into its throat. There are now intestines and deer guts stuck in the beam supports. Something threw a mangled deer cadaver from the ground into the fucking beams of my tower. What in the actual fuck? And then I hear loud footsteps in the deep snow, coming from the tree line around the tower. Oh shit, oh shit, oh shit. I take my rifle off of my shoulder and I point it at the tree line. I shout at whatever's over there to fuck off as I slowly back up the stairs. I chamber around and yell I have a gun, and then I fire a warning shot into the woods. And I hit something. What the fuck? This thing fucking squeals loudly. And it actually causes my ears to bleed a little. Oh, fuck this. I run upstairs and something fucking runs after me, but I don't turn around. I run inside, lock the door, and close the shutters. There's a loud roaring from the bottom of my tower. It sounds like a mix of a bear's death cry, an elk, and a person getting CBT. Don't ask, just look it up. And then this thing starts climbing up the stairs. Shit. There's a small gate about 1/3 of the way up, meant to stop bears and other animals from walking into my living room while I sleep. And it doesn't know how to open it. Fucking thank God. After about an hour of it trying to push the gate open, and it fucking scream roaring at me, it finally leaves. I don't go outside until the next day because I'm worried it could be trying to bait me out. But when I do finally go outside, the deer is gone, and the guts are gone. The blood smears are still there, and there's no tracks because of the new snowfall. I go back inside and play some Skyrim, and try to act like it never happened. I guess I should elaborate on why the park rangers send what is essentially a SWAT team to check up on you if you don't respond to the hourly radio check. The radio check works like this. Basically just responding to Tower 1, our coordinator, when he says your tower number. It's just a shitty roll call, really. One morning, Tower 4 doesn't respond. It's the 6 a.m. check, so he's probably still sleeping, which is normal for Tower 4. 3 checks later, and he's still sleeping. Tower 1 says that I and Tower 8 should go check up on him if he doesn't respond to the next one, since we're the closest. The next one comes and he doesn't respond. Well, fuck, I guess I'm going. Tower 8 rolls up in her shitty Land Rover and drives us to Tower 4. We pull up outside and we see a huge blood trail leading from the stairs and into the woods. Holy shit. I go up the stairs while Tower 8 tries to find where the blood trail ends. The bear gate has been torn off and is currently up a nearby tree. I climb further upstairs, and I slowly enter the living room with my handgun, which we have to keep on ourselves at all times. The door is already open, or rather, it wasn't there. I enter the room and it's fucking carnage. There's blood and bits everywhere. There's half a fucking hand on the floor, but no body. It seems like something burst into the room, tore up Tower 4, and then dragged his body out. I then remember that Tower 8 is literally following the trail of whatever could tear through a thick wooden door and do all of this. I panic, and I jump down the stairs and yell at her. She's staring off into the woods with her gun drawn. She says that she's not going out there because there are probably bears and wolves. I then call this in on the radio, and an hour later, a literal convoy of armed rangers arrive. They tell us to fuck off, and I never hear anything about it again. I then have to give some shitty story to the others that the guy from Tower 4 retired at age 22. It's now time to introduce you to the guy. The guy is literally just this fucking guy with a burnt face who wears a suit. He looks like he's been in a fire or something because his face is very scarred. He doesn't say anything, he just watches you from a distance, normally from the tree line, and writes on his clipboard. Every single fire watch tower has seen him, and apparently, according to Tower 1, he's been spotted here since the 1950s. I've tried approaching him a couple of times, but he'll just walk behind a tree or a rock and vanish. He kind of looks like that guy from Metal Gear Solid 5 who wears that mask, except he's not wearing the mask. I've only heard him speak once. I was slowly approaching him from behind, trying to get the jump on this fucker, when he turned around, looked at me, and said, "Cougar," in a Norse/Russian accent before turning around and walking behind a rock. What the fuck? I turn around and there's a fucking cougar a few feet away from me. It's probably been trailing me since I followed him. It runs away the moment I point my rifle at it due to fight or flight. I don't know if he saved me or tried to get me killed, but regardless, thank you, Jim Carrey from The Mask. No one knows who he is or where he comes from. He just shows up, looks at you, writes in his clipboard, and then fucks off. The closest he's ever gotten to someone was when he walked out of Tower 3's toilet and just left through the front door, or the time he appeared outside my fucking window watching me sleep. The local Inuit folks seem to know about him, but they refuse to say any more than just, "Oh, him, right." And aside from that, he's been here well before Whitey showed up, and has been part of the local tribe's life for eons. They won't give you the name they have for him, or any stories about him, but they will tell you to keep your distance and not to piss him off. I know, it's boring, but that's literally it. You'll see him around 8 times a month, and then he'll disappear for 4 more to go spook the shit out of the other towers. Tower 9 leaves him little goodie bags with spare food, which he's seen him pick up and eat, so that's cool. Here's another story. Be me. I finish up the 8 p.m. hourly radio check. All of the other radio checks until 6 a.m. are optional because sleep is a thing. I load up Skyrim since it's the only game I can play because the Wi-Fi's down due to the snow. I play for like 2 hours and I hear a knocking at the window. I don't care. It's probably the guy or something. He does this often. The knocking continues, and I ignore it. There's then a loud slam at the window. Holy shit, okay, you've got my attention. I open the blinds expecting to see the guy and his stupid fucking clipboard, but he's not there. I scan the windows and there's nothing. There's still nothing, and there's more nothing. But then I see a child peeking out from the corner. Wait, what? The kid stops peeking the moment it realizes I've spotted him. Oh shit. I override my gut, telling me not to go outside. I mean, if there's an actual fucking kid out there, it'll die, and I don't want a frozen kid corpse on my stairs. I open the door, and there's absolutely nothing. What the fuck? I call out, and there's still nothing. And then I hear scuttling behind me. I turn around, and there's a dead bird on the floor that wasn't there before. What the fuck? There's a gift tag on it, and it says, "A gift from me to you." Oh, fuck this. I go back inside and I bring the bird with me because I don't want to piss off this ghost kid or whatever it is. I shut the blinds and I go to sleep. I still occasionally get knocks at my window at god-awful hours of the night from time to time, with little dead bird gifts every 4 knocks. Here's another one that happened to me. Be me. I'm going for a walk because I'm bored. I tell my radio I'm going on a walk so they don't send a fucking army after me. It's summertime, so no snow. I still bring the rifle because of bears and other animals. I'm also having fun taking pot shots at deer to scare them, and I stumble across a huge camper van. We aren't accepting campers because of COVID, so I go investigate to make sure it's not a hobo or a cultist. I'll get into that part soon. The place looks old, and yet new. I go inside after checking some of the tents outside, and it looks like someone has been living here. I see empty cans in the corner and a sleeping bag on the couch. What? Surprisingly, it doesn't stink like shit. I find an old diary on the table and decide to take a read. It's from one of the people who used to work here. He got promoted from the fire watch to park ranger and then retired. I'm having fun reading through his journal, as it's about him coming back because he missed the openness of the forest. He starts talking about some guy in a suit in the woods. I realize it's probably the clipboard guy, but he mentions chatting to him. Clipboard guy doesn't do that, but okay. The last entry was a few days ago. It says he's going on a hike tomorrow to look for it. There's no mention of whatever it was, and there's also no later entries. What the fuck? I leave because it's getting late. I go back a few more times, but nothing changes because he never came back. A few weeks go by and basically I forget. One day though, on roll call, someone mentioned that an old colleague went missing. Oh shit, who? It's the journal guy. Wait, what? It's been months and they still haven't found him. I gave the journal to the park rangers in case he could help. In response, they sent me an email the next day and said that telling anyone about the campsite or the journal will violate my NDA. However, I never mentioned that I knew about the campsite. Rest in peace, Roger of Tower 11. Okay, now it's time to talk about the cultists. Be me. I get a radio call from Tower 8. In my head I think, what the fuck does this bitch want? Anon, get to the lake now. Okay, sure. I walk down to the lake and holy shit, park rangers are holding a group of robed figures at gunpoint while local police call something into their radio. The guy from Tower 5 is also there and looks like shit. Then I realize there were a bunch of stone pillars that weren't there yesterday. What the fuck is going on here? I go ask one of the park rangers, and he is surprisingly chill. He explains that the Tower 5 guy had gone for a walk through the 4th sector, the area that me and Tower 8 manage, and happened upon guys in robes sacrificing a wolf. The guys in the robes proceed to flip shit, and one runs at him with a knife. He stabs him in the thigh. But Tower 5 guy proceeds to shoot him in the chest. All of the other guys in robes are now pissing themselves because Tower 5 has a semi-auto rifle and is now screaming at them while his leg begins bleeding. Tower 8 hears the commotion and calls it in. That's when the park rangers arrive and hold them all hostage. They pull the guy who was shot into their trucks and provide first aid. Tower 5 guy is former Spetsnaz, who is living out the rest of his days in retirement in the Alaskan woods. Go figure. So he's perfectly fine, and did all the first aid himself while warding away knife-wielding maniacs. The park ranger then tells me to leave. I'm not going to argue with the park rangers, so I fuck off. When I get back, I tell Tower 8 what happened. I later find out that the guys in robes got off scot-free because one of the people in the local police force is a member of their cult and used his admin powers to save them from jail. All they had to do was tear down their stone pillars and promise to never come back and they could leave. Apparently, their cult is the third largest faith in the region, with native religion and Christianity ahead of it. They worship some water god called Malik or something. I don't know the name. Here is some information about the local native religion. The local natives have a pretty small pantheon of gods. It comprises of Thul, the god of snow. He's like the Allfather, and he's like a king sitting on a throne made of pine trees. Tamaka, speaker of Thul. Thul doesn't speak in a way humans can understand, so Tamaka translates for them. He's a bird/man wearing a bird mask who's in a dress with no armholes and has a scabbard on his left side. Flumeni, wife of Thul. She's the god of warriors, mothers, and lakes. She's a woman with one arm riding on a huge elk that is much larger than any tree. And then there's Tati. The natives refuse to say his full name, so they just shorten it. He's the god of fire, rot, mold, and decay, and he's currently chained at the bottom of the lake in my sector. He will have cougars and other lesser gods do his bidding since he can't do shit under the lake. Thul, Tamaka, and Flumeni all live in the mountains away from humans because their voices would scare them. They're all mute aside from Tamaka. Okay, Anons. This is my last story. It's kind of personal. Be me, I'm depressed. My girlfriend, at the time, left me. I have no friends because this job means I'm far away from anyone for months, and the isolation is finally getting to me. I decide enough is enough, and take a rifle and head into the woods. I find a nice clearing to do what I'm going to do, and I put the barrel in my mouth, and I'm about to pull the trigger when I hear footsteps. I turn around and see an old man with a huge white beard wearing a bear pelt robe approaching me. I quickly hide my rifle because I can't bear the embarrassment of being caught failing at killing myself. The dude walks up and says, "Can I sit with you, child?" in a deep German accent. "Sure thing, Santa." The man chuckles and sits with me. He's got a cool-looking eye patch on one of his eyes. He starts talking to me, just a casual conversation. I talk back, chatting about things like sports, etc. He asks what I'm doing out here on my own, and I say hiking. He says he knows I'm lying. I proceed to vent to the old man about how shit my life is, but the old man comforts me. I realize that the old man has a pet bird on his shoulder. Holy shit, that's badass, I think. The man tells me his name, but it's some bizarre Swedish shit. I feel happy now, and no longer depressed. I finally have clarity on life. The old guy says he has to leave, and I say bye. He gets up, walks over to a thin tree, waves, and walks around it, but he fucking vanishes. What the fuck? I go check, and there's no way he could have just walked around this thin tree and just disappeared before he reached the other side. I'm still in confusion, but I take my rifle and I go home, and I haven't felt suicidal since. Thanks, Santa.